Hey everyone, welcome back to SFDC Ninja, and today I am back with another Apex Trigger scenario. Like previous scenario, this scenario is also given by one of my subscriber. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. So guys, let's first understand the data model. So for today's scenario, we have three objects. Candidate object, on which we have a field skill set, which is of text area type, skill object, and candidate skill object. Candidate skill is the junction object for candidate and skill. So this is the data model. Now let's understand the scenario. So whenever a candidate record gets created with some skills entered in skill set field, then we have to search in the skill object records that whether the skills entered in the skill set field is available or not. If the skill is available, then we have to create a candidate skill record. And if skill is not available, then first we have to create a skill record, and after that we have to create a candidate skill record. Let me explain it again clearly. Let's say in our org, for skill object, we have a record, let's say Apex, and we insert a new candidate record for which we give values Apex and LWC in skill set field. Now there will be two scenarios. First, we already have a record for Apex, so for it, a new candidate skill record should get inserted. And second, since we do not have any record for LWC, therefore for LWC, firstly a new skill record should get created, and after that a new candidate skill record should get created. So if a skill is not present, then first we have to create that skill, and after that we have to create a junction object. So this is the scenario on which we are going to work today. I think that is enough of theory part. It's time to code. So let's go to VS Code and create our handler class. Let's name it trigger handler. Let's create our method void trg method. Now we have to perform all of our tasks on insertion of candidate record. That's why a trigger will be on candidate object, because it is candidate object which will invoke a trigger. So what we will do? We will pass a list of candidate object as parameter in our method. So let's pass it candidate. Let's see new list. Now guys see, we have to create candidate skill junction object based on whether we have skill record in our org or not. That's why first we have to fetch the skills that we already have in our org, and we will store them in a map. So let's fetch them like this. For skill, let's say existing skills, select ID, name from skill. Let's create a map to store it. Let's give it name existing skills map. Copy its name, paste it here, dot put existing skills dot name and existing skills. Guys, also in this list, we will pass trigger.new from our trigger. So this list is equal to trigger.new. Now let's apply a null check on this list and iterate over it. Now skill set on candidate object is a field of text area type. Therefore, user has to enter candidate skills by using comma, like Apex, comma, LWC, comma, flows. But what we need every skill value separately for the comparison. That's why we will use split function for it, like this. Skill names candidate dot skill set dot split comma. Basically, in simple terms, split will cut the value into parts wherever it sees comma. So you will get an array of skills like this. Let's iterate over this array. String skill name. Let's make it plural. Now what we will do? We will simply put the candidate skills in a map. So let's create a map first. Candidate. Let's give name candidate skills map. Copy its name. Paste it here. Dot put skill name. Copy the candidate like this. Basically, this map is important for building a mapping between skills name and candidates, which then will be used to create candidate skill records based on the skills possessed by each candidate. Now, our next task is to create records for skill and candidate skill by doing comparison that whether the skill record is present in our org or not. Basically, we have to do comparison for each skill of candidate and we have skill names present in this map. So let's iterate over keys of this map. We can also apply a check here like this. If copy this map name, paste it here, dot contains key, skill name. Now let's iterate over the key of this map in which all skill names are present. String skill, copy this map name, paste it here, dot key set. Let's apply a check that if existing skills map dot contains key skill. Basically here what we are doing, we are just checking that whether the skill entered by the user for candidate is already present in org or not. We are using this map because we have already stored existing skills in this map here. Now if this condition will get true, I mean if candidate skill is already present in org, then we will simply create a candidate skill record like this. Candidate skill, let's say CS skill existing skills map dot get skill dot id, because in this map we are storing skill record in value and we are fetching it by its name. CS dot, let's say, name. Similarly, map the candidate dot get skill dot id, and we will not perform DML inside for loop. So for that we will create a list. Let's say list to insert junction. Copy its name, add candidate skill record in it. So this if condition is for when skill is already present in org. Else, if the skill is not present, then we will simply create a new skill record for it, like this. Again, we will not perform DML inside for loop, so we will create another list. Let's say skill list. Copy its name, paste it here, and add a skill record in it. Now guys, see, we have completed our first task, which is to create a candidate skill object if skill is already present. But if the skill is not present in org, then first we have to create a new skill record, which we already did here, and then we have to create a new candidate skill record. Guys, we cannot create candidate skill record inside the cells directly because we'll be needing skill ID. which we cannot have here because this record is not inserted yet. So what we'll do? First, let's apply a null check on this list like this is empty and here inserted. And now let's iterate over it like this. And here we will create candidate skill record. Let's use the same variable. cs.skill will be this dot name, and for differentiation we, we will add junction here. Candidate dot name dot id. Let's add in the same list, apply a null check on it, and simply insert it. Save it and deploy it to org. So we are getting error. Variable does not exist 54. Okay. Save it again and deploy it. And now it is successfully deployed. So we have our handler class ready. Let's create our trigger. Let's name it candidate trg. Our trigger will be on candidate object. I have already explained why. And here we need to perform operations on related records. That's why we will use after insert. Let's apply a check to invoke our handler class code only for after insert operation like this. Trigger.is insert trigger handler.trg method and pass trigger.new in parameter. Save it and deploy it to org. It is successfully deployed. So we have our code ready. It's time to see it in action. So let's go to our org. In our org, we already have a skill record, Apex. Now what we'll do, we will create a candidate record. Let's name it test candidate 1 and here we will enter some skills. First, let's enter Apex, which we already have in database. Let's say LWC and flows and click on save. So here, as you can see that skill record for flows and LWC have been created because we had only Apex record. Similarly, candidate skill records are also created, which means our trigger is working fine. So that's it for today, guys. If you have any trigger scenarios, then please do comment. Thank you and keep watching.